Welcome to the February 2026 webinar focusing on management by exception and teamwork alerts for Sage 300. My name is Natalie from Orchid, and today I'm joined by Anne and Steve to demonstrate some real-world scenarios that give visibility into key business activities in a simple, secure, real-time and compliant manner. Orchid's broad range of solutions for Sage 300 expanded last year with the launch of TeamWork, integrating Extender Workflow Information Manager Notes with AutoSimply AC Chat to chat, alert and approve Sage 300 transactions and records in a mobile app. Today, we will discuss some principles of managing by exceptions and focus on using Teamwork for alerts rather than approval and real-time messages with 5 main scenarios. Scenarios 1 and 2 improve collaboration in the sales order process to deliver better customer experience with alerts when new orders are created and shipments messages to track the delivery, including the proof of delivery. Scenarios 3 and 4 aim to increase controls in the payables processes with alerts when EFT vendor bank details and vendor payment term codes change. In our 5th scenario, we will look at alerts when GL journals are posted to drive better financials and reduce risk of accounting manipulation. We'll then discuss some next steps to get started with Teamwork for alerts. Let's start with a few principles of managing by exceptions. What is it all about? If you think of micromanagement and laissez-faire as representing different extremes of the management style spectrum, then management by exception sits somewhere in the sensible center. Management by exception empowers staff to get on with their jobs without being micromanaged. Management remains accountable, but only gets directly involved when a red flag suggests potential risk or a highly positive exception may trigger a special response. For example, if you've just signed a large sales contract. There are different interpretations of management by exception, but a good starting point is these 5 steps. Define the exception. Define what you consider to be normal before you can start identifying exceptions. Do you consider vendor terms important because of their impact on cash flow? Which vendor terms do you want to be alerted on? Does the sales manager want to follow large new orders as soon as they're processed? What determines a large order in your business? Does the financial controller want to check GL journals in real time? Would different people also need to be alerted when GL journals are posted? Identify an exception. Identify means put some processes or systems in place, generally automated, to flag conditions that sit outside of the target range. It can be irregular exception reports, but also alerts in real time when those conditions occur. Escalating the exception. Once you've identified it, you need to escalate it to make sure the right people find out about it as soon as possible, in the best manner for them at the time. Do they receive it on their phone, on their laptop, on their mobile device, on their tablet? Investigating the exception. Investigate implies having the right data tools and skills to understand the nature and cause of the exception, gives you access to the system, ability to view the supporting documents for the transactions, and then go back to audit the transactions and the changes and the alerts. Remediating the exceptions. This is where managers earn their stripes and get the team involved to improve the process. Was there a good reason for the change that was just entered? Is it well documented? Do we have good support processes to deal with large orders efficiently? And if the investigation reveals no further action is required or you're not getting that many alerts, you may need to refine your model, return to step 1. Maybe it wasn't an exception. Maybe you need to adjust the rules. And we will show you how this would work in Teamwork and the chat context. A few years ago, we discussed how ORCID modules can support management by exceptions. Regular reports and email alerts sent with Process Scheduler or Extender Info Explorer. But today we add a new dimension and we present how TeamWork can assist to improve compliance and collaboration in real time in an easy-to-use chat interface and always available on your mobile device. For those of you who missed the launch last year, what is TeamWork? A chat and approval collaboration tool for Sage 300, made for mobile, optimized for Sage 300. You can chat about Sage 300 records, and in our examples here, we'll show you how the alerts are created when something changes in Sage 300 and how the team can collaborate on it. These alerts are all configurable. They are created in real time. Everything supports the Sage 300 security rules. You have an audit trail of all the chats and the approvals and the alerts. In the app, you can update optional fields, upload documents and photos to support the conversation. You can also monitor your current workflow task list when using TeamWork for approvals. Action those workflows, whether you're in the office or on the road in real time. TeamWork is built on Extender configurable workflow rules, which we will touch on. It is installed from your mobile app store and works on Android devices, phone, tablets, Apple devices, iOS devices, and Windows app. Let's look at our scenarios of configurable alerts for collaboration in Sage 300. We have 5 scenarios, and the way it's going to work is we have Natalie, who's in the back office with Sage 300 desktop and sometimes also using the Windows app for TeamWork. We have Steve using a mobile phone and Anne using a mobile phone or a tablet, depending on the scenarios, and we are casting those devices to the presentation. So we're going to look at sales order process, AP, GL journal alerts using all these devices. In our first scenario, we have configured TeamWork to send alerts when OE sales orders are created in Sage 300. Those orders can be entered directly in the Sage 300 desktop, on the web screens, using an app like AutoSimply Sales Anywhere, using Sage CRM, a web store that pushes the orders into Sage 300 through the Sage API and views. Then in TeamWork, the salesperson or sales manager will chat about this specific order, have information about the customer, can update an optional field. So we'll look at all these examples and then see that back in Sage 300, everything has been updated in real time. Communication is filed and visible to all the users who need to have a look. We'll also have a look at how easy it is to configure who receives the alert and what sort of alerts you are sending. What are the conditions to send the alert? In our sales order entry scenario, this order was created from our website, and you can see that the sales team has been alerted because it's an order over $5,000 for a preferred customer, and Coastal Electric Company is a preferred customer. So now I'm going to hand over to Anne and Steve to see what they think about this new big order.
I just noticed the new order from Coastal Electric, and that's great. I'm just going to thank Terence because he was a great help during this taking of this order. Thanks, Terence, for all your help on this order. And I'm just going to go and have a look at the delivery method. So the UPS zone is red. I'm going to make it blue because that's an urgent order for us. It's a preferred customer. It's a nice big new order to help with their trade fair. So we want to make sure that the delivery happens quite quickly. So UPS zone 2.
Okay, well, I'm also having a look at the order. It's a great new order, Coastal Electric Company. I'm quite keen to see what other revenue we've had from them. So I'll go off and have a look at the year-to-date sales, and we've had 4,300. So this is over double those year-to-date sales. So I'm going to send a note to everybody to congratulate everyone. Hi everyone, congratulations on the new sale with Coastal Electric. I see it's got to do with them participating in these trade fairs. We really need to take advantage of this and see if any of our other customers are demonstrating their wares at the trade fair, and see if we can help them at all. Thanks very much. Much appreciated. Let's get together for a celebration at some stage.
And keep an eye out, watch this space, because they've promised us another order of the same size for next month's trade fair.
Fantastic.
Now back in the back office, the sales admin team can check this order again and see all the conversation that has happened between Anne and Steve, which is fantastic. And if we look at our optional field, you can see that the UPS zone is now set to blue. So we demonstrated how you can update an optional field on the app. And the inquiry where Steve was looking at the year-to-date sales is something that is configurable by you, the users, in the AC chat templates. So we won't show you how to do that today, but this is all part of what you can configure, what's relevant to your business. The other thing that is easy to configure is your workflow rules. Let's have a look at our new order alert here. And you can see we've set up two rules, one for orders for preferred customers. So if the order total is greater than 5,000 and preferred customer is set to yes, then the sales team receives the notification, and that was Anne and Terence. But if it's not a preferred customer, then only Anne receives the notification. So you can easily configure who receives what alerts and under what condition the exception is defined. In this scenario, we're using TeamWork for the sales admin team to collaborate with the logistics team to manage shipments and proof of delivery. If the shipment is created to location 1 and Anne receives the alert, if the shipment is created to location 2, the alert goes to Terence, who manages that zone. The shipment, again, can be created in Sage 300 in the desktop screen, the web screen, using the Simply barcode app. So we want to show you how to create the shipment. We'll start off the point where the shipment is created and Anne receives the alert. In TeamWork, she can attach the proof of delivery to the chat, sign it, review the optional fields if necessary. And then in Sage 300, in real time, the admin back office can view all those details in the Sage desktop. So I'm going to ship the order to Coastal Electric. It's for location 1, so our delivery driver Anne should get an alert.
Great, shipment 66 has been created. So I need to deliver this and get a proof of delivery and a signature for it. So proof of delivery first. That's my 2 mugs that I'm delivering off to Coastal Electric. And now I'll go ahead and do the printing. So I'll go ahead and sign for it, get a signature. And print the shipment form. So that'll be generated in the background and come back and get it. So there's the shipment form. Let me just check the signature looks okay. There's the signature. Great. And let me just check with Terence, make sure he knows I've delivered this now. Hi, Terence. I've delivered this now. Please, can you arrange installation? Actually, Terence is not even on this list, so let me just quickly add him. So I'll add a member, Terence. And I'll go ahead. So I've added Terence now. I can see him up the top there. So let me just do that message again for Terence. Hi, Terence. I've delivered the mugs. Please arrange installation.
Fantastic. Thanks, Anne. So while this was all happening, Anne's phone was showing here, and at the same time, all this delivery and document signing is showing now in Sage 300. So we have this real-time alerts that are working both ways. If I double click on this, we can see the proof of delivery. The signed document is also available. And I can see that Anne has been in touch with Terence for the delivery, for the installation rather, since this is our new program where we're helping with the deliveries. So that's good. So the sales admin has full visibility over what's happening out in the field between the sales team, the project team, and the sales manager. And behind the scenes, we have our workflow rules again to configure the alert. So here we know that shipments for location 1 are sent to Anne, but all other locations, they are sent directly to Terence. But in some cases, Anne might need to loop in Terence, and she's been given rights to actually do that in the chat, as we saw in the presentation. So you have the flexibility in a secure manner to do what you need to do. Now, next scenario, we're now looking at controls and compliance in the AP processes. And the first example we're going to look at is an alert when AP vendor payment terms code change. So business rule is when admin changes the AP vendor payment terms and receives an alert in TeamWork. She can then ask questions about the impact on the cash flow, look at inquiry to see what is the balance outstanding with this particular vendor, gets reply from admin, and then in Sage 300, we will see that the chat is filed away and displayed against the AP vendor. We can also look at how to change the business rules that is configured in the extended workflow rules. Okay, let's look at our vendors in accounts payable. And I've just renegotiated a contract with our vendor 1350 Exide Industrial Batteries to change the payment terms because we're getting a better settlement discounts. So our terms code is going to change from 60 to net 30 days, and we do get a better discount. So as I'm saving this, we have configured TeamWork to send an alert to Anne. And Anne can view the alert in her device.
And I see that the new payment terms is now N30. So net 30 days. I'm just going to confirm with Natalie that that is the correct thing that she's done. Hi, Natalie. You've just changed the terms for 1350 to N30. Is that what was agreed?
I'm also using TeamWork, and I can see that Anne is asking me questions. Yes, it is N30 as we have a better settlement discount.
All right. Let me just go and see the AP vendor balance. It's currently 30,000 and we've got a 402 days to pay. Okay, I see that. Let me just confirm with Natalie then. Okay, Natalie, I shouldn't have doubted you. Thanks.
Okay, so now I can go back and check what's happening in Sage 300. And against our vendor X side, I can see again the conversation is displaying here, and it is also available in the AC chat inquiries. But if you wanted to have different notification, different alerts to different users, it's very easy to change. You go into the extender workflow rules. I'm going to show you how this one is configured. So it's our AP payment, vendor payment terms. And we can say that Steve receives an alert if the terms are set to COD. And if it's not COD, then Anne receives the alert. But you could change that rule. You could alert different users, or if you want to change from Anne to Terence, you just need to change it in here. Save, and the next time you change your payment terms, Terence is going to receive the alert. In this scenario, we're still focusing on compliance in AP processes, but the example is around getting an alert when EFT vendor bank details change. So when I change the vendor bank details in EFT, I'm supposed to file the supporting documents, get confirmation from the vendor that the new bank details are correct, and possibly check that all my bank setting is still okay for this new vendor. So Anne will receive an alert in TeamWork in the chat, can ask questions about why we're doing this change, and admin can confirm it is valid. So this is filing in Sage 300. We know we have those documents that have been filed away in document management link. We can also view, we have access to workflow logs and the chat inquiry. So we know that the alert has been sent, and we know that they have communicated about it, they have seen the alert, thereby increasing the compliance and reducing the risk of somebody changing vendor bank details fraudulently. Okay, I've just received an email from Ronald about changing his EFT vendor details. Let me go and double check. Yes, that's fine. I'm going to go into Sage 300, into EFT, find my vendor chloride systems, and update the information as per what's in the PDF. I'm going to save this, and at the same time, I'm going to use document management link to file the email as proof that I have actually checked what was going on. And I'm also going to save the attachment directly here. And now, as you can see here, I'm actually sharing Anne's phone, or Anne's tablet actually. And there is a new notification. So over to you, Anne.
So I see that the vendor's details have been changed. So admin has updated vendor 1200 chloride systems. So I just want to make sure that Natalie has saved away those details. Hi, Natalie. Have you saved away the proof of the changes or the document or email that Ronald sent us?
And I'm also using the TeamWork app using it on my machine, because at the moment I'm in Sage 300 anyway. I'm on my desktop. You can see that Anne has asked me a question, and I'm going to say, sure, it is all filed away in DML. And I call Ronald to confirm.
Thanks, Natalie. We need that for our audit purposes, so thanks for following up on that one.
Okay, so that was all happening in TeamWork. Meanwhile, while I'm back in Sage 300 desktop, I'm looking at my EFT vendor, and I can see here all the conversation that we've just had. So that's the filing of all our confirmation that we followed the right process. And of course, I have the documents that I have previously uploaded there for everyone who has rights to see. Now, as in the other scenarios, in the workflow rules, you can change who receives the alert. You may have different alerts for different EFT file types. It's your business rule, your choice. In our last scenario for today, we're looking at TeamWork alerts around GL journal batches. Business rule is that if we are trying to post a GL batch that comes from the subledgers, no alerts. We assume that everything has been approved, alerted, verified before it hits the general ledger. However, if we have GL journals with an entry to a revenue account, we want to alert Steve so that we can prevent financial misstatement in case the entry was a typo, ensure proper revenue recognition. We want to avoid situations where revenue is recognized this month to meet targets before the products are shipped. We also want to verify compliance with our accounting policies and prevent fraud. So we will get these alerts in TeamWork, where Steve asks some questions and can justify the reasons for the journal. And in Sage 300, we will view that chat against the GL journal. It is recorded in Sage 300 in a secure manner, valid for all the auditors. We can amend the business rules if we want different people to receive the alert, or if we want to change the amount over which we're alerted. We can also change the rule to be from an alert to an approval if we find that it is happening too often. Okay, I've just created a GL journal to reallocate some revenue. So I'm going to make this ready to post. So Anne has been alerted because there's a large entry on this sales revenue account. So now let me switch to Anne's phone, who's also having a chat to Steve in TeamWork. But you, Anne and Steve?
So I see that a journal batch has been made ready to post, which has got postings, direct GL batch posting to revenue account, which I'm a bit worried about. So I'm going to ask Steve if he knows anything about this. Hi, Steve. Do you know why they're journaling against a revenue account?
I think it's because the customer was allocated to the incorrect department, so it's appearing in the wrong place in the GL, and this journal is now reallocating that revenue. So that should all be in order.
Okay, will you tell the sales guys to rerun their reports then, because it will have moved?
Okay, will do.
And if I come back to Sage, you can see that against this batch 235, the whole conversation is documented, available for anyone to see, for the auditors to see if required. And I can continue with processing and posting that batch. Now in the background, we have some workflow rules that are configured in Extender Setup. And if you can see here, I'm saying if it's the source ledger is the GL, so sub-ledgers don't generate any alerts, but if it's a GL and if the total is greater than 1,000, then Anne gets the alert, and Steve is also part of that alert. So you can change your amount, or you could change the conditions here, and you can also obviously change who receives a notification. We've looked at 5 real-time alert scenarios in various business processes. As you know, we can also use TeamWork for more formal approvals and in other processes in Sage 300. So how to get started with TeamWork? Hopefully you've seen some scenarios that are relevant to you, your business, your customers. TeamWork includes over 20 standard templates for alerts and approvals, and they are available in ORCID sample data for version 2026 to be released in February. So you need to identify your key business processes. Start with 1 or 2 alerts. Configure the what, the how, and the who in the workflow rules after having installed all the software. And you'll see it's easy to change from an alert to a formal approval, to tweak your alerts and your approval processes based on your requirements. TeamWork enhances collaboration. It is a centralized platform to avoid your email or WhatsApp overload. It increases accessibility where any users that you want to can, in a secure manner, be informed and chat about Sage 300. It accelerates communication. Everything happens in real time. It does improve auditability and compliance, as you have an audit trail of every Sage 300 decision and exception that you've dealt with. For more information, you can look at the online help and the videos that are available on the ORCID website. And you can also join us for our training that we're doing at TPAC in South Africa in March 2026 and in June 2026 in Toronto. And of course, we're always available to help you outside of those times if you are interested. And we're now ready for Q&A.